Discover the infinite within your mind. Together, we will explore the unseen realms of consciousness and the boundless potential inside us all. Join us on a journey through self-awareness and the powerful connection between mind, body, and soul. Each episode invites you to reflect, grow, and transform. Unlock the secrets of personal growth through meditation, spirituality, and introspection. So, take a deep breath and let the journey begin. Welcome to Beyond the Conscious Mind, where your path to deeper understanding starts now. Hi, and welcome to the very first episode of Beyond the Conscious Mind podcast. My name is Joachim, and I want to start by saying a heartfelt thank you for being here with me today. This is a moment I've been imagining for a long time, and it feels incredible to finally share it with you. And now, before we dive in, I want to share something about this podcast that's important. This is going to be a bilingual journey. Most of the episodes, especially in the beginning, will be in Swedish as I connect with guests who share that language. But I also want to reach a broader audience, so some episodes will be in English. And since this is our first time together, I'm choosing to speak in English today. And I want you to know that wherever you are listening from, I want you to feel included. This is a space for all of us. Recording this first episode has been a journey in itself. Initially, I filmed it in a different space, but it didn't feel right. I didn't connect with it. It didn't feel authentic, and I wasn't fully expressing myself. And that's the opposite of what I want this podcast to be. So here I am, back in my home, sitting by a very hot fireplace, but it feels authentic to me. And this time, I want to speak straight from the heart, no filters, no perfection, just me sharing why I'm here and why this podcast exists, and what I hope we can create together. So, why am I here? Why am I starting this podcast? I have no formal background in podcasting or video editing or professional training. But what I do have is a deep, authentic calling to create a space for people like you and me. A community where we can explore, question, and grow together. I want this podcast to be a space where we can speak from the heart and sometimes even stumble over our words and make mistakes. Because this isn't about perfection. It is about connection, authenticity, and creating something that truly resonates on a soul level. So let me share a bit about myself so you know who's behind this mic. I grew up with just my mom, who wasn't your typical mom. She went through a huge shift in her life, from working in corporate world to exploring spirituality deeply. She became a medium, a channeler, someone, I would say, who helped others connect with something beyond themselves. So yeah, I grew up in a home where meditation circles were held and where the energy was present and explored, and where I would say I could sense that life was so much more than what we can see on the surface. But like many teenagers, I rebelled. I didn't want to follow that path. I chased the material world, money, status, relationships, and everything society tells us will make us happy. I spent years running after external things, thinking that they would bring me fulfillment. And while I achieved a lot of what I thought I wanted, I felt more and more disconnected. Eventually, I hit a wall. I was burned out and lost. I was drinking too much wine, not being happy with myself, and tired of repeating the same patterns over and over again. So overnight, I turned to personal development and spent several years working on myself, shifting my mindset and making changes in my life. I would say it worked up to a point, but I felt that something was still missing. So about 4 years ago, I felt this gentle nudge, almost like someone tapping me on the shoulder saying, Joachim, it's time to explore spirituality again. At first, I ignored it. I wasn't ready to face it, but the nudge kept coming back. And eventually I gave in. I surrendered and said, okay, bring it to me. And it's been a wild and transformative journey for sure. One filled with challenges, but also with a deeper peace and love that I ever known. And that's what brings me here. I believe we're living in extraordinary times. The world is changing rapidly. It's changing technologically, socially, and spiritually. And with that comes an opportunity. We have a chance to raise our consciousness, to connect more deeply with ourselves and with each other, and to shape a new world that's more conscious, more aligned, and more awake. So, this podcast is my way of contributing to that shift. It's not just a space for me to talk, it is a platform for meaningful conversations, for shared stories, and for the kind of reflections that help us grow. I will be inviting guests from all walks of life, people with unique experiences and perspectives who can inspire and challenge us to think differently. Together, I hope we can create a ripple effect, one that reaches far beyond this space. And that is why I want to reach out to you too. If you feel a calling to be part of this community, if you know someone who would be an incredible guest, or if you yourself have a story to share, please reach out. This podcast is just beginning, and it's going to grow and evolve over time. And I'd be honored if you join me on this journey, not just as a listener, but as an active participant, and maybe even as a friend. And as we wrap up this first episode, I want to take a moment to thank you. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for opening your heart to this journey. Starting something new can feel daunting, but knowing that you're here gives me so much hope and excitement for what's to come. We're just getting started, and I can't wait to see where this leads. There's so much ahead, so many conversations to have, so much growth to experience together. I have a dog back there. Sorry. My hope is that each episode leaves you with something meaningful, something that sparks curiosity, reflection, or even inspiration. So thank you for being part of this. I look forward to connecting with you again in the next episode and beyond. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep reaching for that higher consciousness.